Hi, everybody. Welcome to the swamp. Welcome to my guest. Well, David is a returning guest. He's been here before.
Returning
And
champion.
returning champ. There you go.
And this time I had to bring
Gary's
a tag
here.
team partner. Glad to be here, folks.
And Gary is the first time visitor to the
Yes,
swamp.
I
So
am.
we've got the bay meeting the swamp. And actually, we got a few bays here too, but they're nowhere near on y'all's scale. So, um, and they're a lot ickier to look at.
Now, here's some fun facts. A lot of San Francisco Bay is only about like 4 to 6 feet deep. Yeah. So
Really?
it's a muddy, just a little muddy habitat. There's a bridge I cross in the morning going to work. It's an 8 mile long bridge, and most of it's like a causeway that's only about 20 feet off the ground or off the water. And when it's low tide, you can drive about 2 miles before you start getting to where the water's covering the mud. And
That sounds like
tide's
when I first moved to Arizona, and the first time I started driving around, and you go over these little bridges and say such and such creek and such wash and such river, and
there's
I'd
no water.
look and there was no water, and I'm like, well, where's the water at if it's a
Wait
river?
till wait till the thunderstorms come,
And
right?
they're like, oh, you gotta wait for monsoon and then the water will come. I'm like,
Right.
okay.
Yeah, it shows up fast, doesn't it?
Or Sherry, have you seen the TikTok videos of when they had like the heavy rains going through Vegas, and you're just watching what looks like a river going down one of the main streets?
Yeah.
That's frightening. Absolutely frightening.
Well, we're right at sea level. I think actually my city is maybe a couple of feet above sea level. But I mean, if I could just go in a straight line, I'm roughly 30 miles from the coast, from the Gulf of Mexico. And but it takes
Are
a
you
lot longer
are
because you
you
got to
impacted?
go all around.
Are you impacted by the hurricane, the storm surges from the hurricanes?
Oh,
Do they?
yeah.
Yeah, because I don't. And it's hard to conceive how far inland they go when you get the storm surges.
Oh, yeah. And depending on how strong the storm is, how much water, if you're on the northwest uh, corner or if you're on the southeast corner, gets different amounts because a hurricane goes counterclockwise. So as it's hitting land, that northwest quadrant is getting all the water sucked in off of the ocean and dumped and then makes its way back around. And that's the way the rotation works. So those in the northwest quadrant always get the worst end of the deal because they're getting all the water dumped on them. Even though you get storm surges across the board. But it can be, I've been through three category fives in my life. And we never left. We always just wrote it out. Don't ask me why, but we did. Um, and but I've seen little two and three do more damage than a five. It just depends on if it makes landfall during high tide or low tide, how fast it's moving. When Harvey hit Houston, it was so devastating because it just sat there for like a couple of days. It just sat right on the coast
just
and
dumped.
just kept dumping water, dumping water, dumping water. So um, there's been other hurricanes that come through and they're moving so fast that all you get is the high winds and the rain and a little bit of flooding. But yeah, I live roughly 3 miles from the Atchafalaya Basin. That's the largest swamp in the land base in the continental U.S. Land based swamp. It's an 18-mile bridge to cross it, and that's at the narrowest peak. It's
Yikes.
18 miles to get from my city to Baton Rouge, the capital, and you got to cross the Atchafalaya. And God help you if there's a wreck on that bridge, because you're stuck like Chuck. You're not going nowhere.
There's nowhere to go.
No, there's no off ramps, no nothing. You're there. So
How many lanes is the bridge? Is it 4-lane bridge to each direction, or?
now it's a 4 lane, two go in each direction. They've slowly been trying to I don't know if they're trying to just restore the old one or build a new one. We just got infrastructure money in for so much stuff down here that was literally falling apart. Um, Fortunately, one of our Republican senators had the brains to go, you know what, we need money down here to do, to start fixing this stuff. So he crossed the aisle and worked with the Democrats to get, I think he got like $8 billion he got brought to our state to start fixing all the bridges and roads and all of that stuff. And the other senator was dead set against it, spoke against it, and then after we got it and they started working on stuff, re-election, he was running on it.
Let me guess. He's at all the ribbon cutting ceremonies.
Office going, you voted against the damn thing. What are you talking about?
The same thing was brought up about Lauren Boebert. You voted against this, but you're at every ribbon cutting ceremony acting like you did this.
Yeah, exactly. It's ridiculous. So while we're here, David, we've known for quite a while. He's been up and running and shooting for the stratosphere for a couple of years now. And then we finally got to meet Gary, and now they've got their own channel, Twin Tarot, right?
Yep.
Twin Tarot with Gary and David. That's the right name.
That's it.
I get names backwards all the time, so I don't know.
So does my mom.
It's a flaw in my brain. I just think backwards, I guess.
Now through a 50-50 shot here, the Gary and David that's on the screen right there happens to go with Gary, Wink, and me.
And David.
It's even lined up right.
I know the first time I saw y'all together, and I don't know, you said something and Gary started laughing, and I went, oh my God, that's David's laugh.
It is.
It's like y'all sound exactly alike when you laugh, when you really get out of belly laugh.
We fool ourselves, back in the day of answering machines, both of us have done this where we've left ourselves a message at home. Like, you remember, like, oh, I need to call the bank when I get home. So I'll leave myself a message, and then I get a message from my brother telling me to call the bank.
Yeah, you're wondering why
because you've forgotten that you've done this. And it's like, oh, Jesus Christ, I didn't get it.
Marina says it's the identical twin cousins.
Yes, twin cousins.
Hi, Marina. Marina misspoke once during one of our podcasts.
I saw it.
Twin cousins. That sounds like a swamp thing more than a California thing.
Oh, honey, down here, anything's possible. You're bound to hear or see anything. So, hence voices from the swamp, because I hear voices and I'm in the swamp. So it just kind of went together, But yeah, I've been watching y'all's twin channel just go through the stratosphere as well. Y'all doing really good.
It's doing really well. We were able to steal a bunch of Dave's viewers from his Tarot by the Bay and sucker him over.
Now,
two for the price of one. How can you pass? I mean,
exactly.
You could make a double mint commercial. How many people remember what that is?
So, Sherry, you've been to Disneyland, have you not, or Disney World?
Disney World.
Okay. Do they have Pirates of the Caribbean at Disney World?
They did when I was there. I went in 76.
And when you go at the beginning of the ride, do you go through like a swampy area where they've got like the house on stilts and the guy's playing his little banjo on it? Is your swamp anything like that? Because if it is, that's where Gary wants to retire. He's often said, that's where I want to retire. Nice, quiet house. It's your bugs outside and see fireflies.
If you're in that kind of swampy area, you're more or less going to be on a shack on stilts.
Yep.
You'll need a road just to get to civilization. That's a small little boat they use, flat bottom boat, so it doesn't get hung up on all the roots. Because all those cypress trees in the water, the roots spread out. They grow everywhere. And so you can't use like a regular kind of boat because it'll get wrapped up in all the roots if you get too close to shore.
So Gary, you can get yourself an Airbnb there.
Yes.
An Airbnb on stilts.
I got to learn to play the banjo.
There you go.
Hey, so Marina, I'm actually going. My wife and I are celebrating our 20th anniversary. We got married 20 years ago in September.
And
so we're going to Disneyland So I'm not gonna be on the Taco Tuesday this week. I'm gonna be in Disneyland on Tuesday night.
Shocker.
No, you haven't.
He's
Okay.
bugging out on y'all.
I just thought
That's right. I got Drain in the Swamp Monday night, and Mel is currently traversing the Rhine, so he's not here for the show this week. And Arthur forgot and has a reading schedule, so I'm like, do I cancel or I just do it by myself or find somebody else? I don't know. I haven't made up my mind. So
Sherry was asking you to check your microphone volume. Says you're a little bit low relative to the two noise levels.
See, last night I was too loud. Is that better?
There you go.
Okay.
Yeah, we want you up there.
I never know because I've got one of these. I can get up there. One of these fancy schmancy.
Oh, I got that similar one.
I saw that Star Trek episode.
Uh-oh.
Okay, Sherry, your microphone has gone completely crazy. You sound like Alvin and the Chipmunks on speed. I think it's mosquitoes.
No, it's Flipper.
It is Flipper. Flipper. I think the Flipper's lived in a swamp.
Little Jimmy fell in the well, Flipper? Well, that sounds like...
No sound now. Jeez, Marina, we try and do one nice thing for Sherry, and then all hell breaks loose.
Okay. Well, Sherry's going to have to do interpretive tarot reading on this.
Exactly. It's all right. We've done it. High five. We've taken over Sherry's show.
Welcome to Twin Tarot, also known as Sherry by the Swamp.
We've taken over her channel. We control the audio and the video. Oh, shh.
It's like the Outer Limits.
She's back.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, we got sound,
but no video.
No
but
video.
Sounds working.
Yeah, I know.
Sounds working great.
God, y'all just screwed me up all the way around, didn't you?
Yeah, we did. This was part of our master plan to take over your Voices from the Swamp channel.
Yes, the marketing potentials are amazing.
Oh, wait a minute. Now we got picture. Sort of.
Hey!
Do we have sound?
It switched cameras on me is what it did. And the other camera is like laying down flat to do my card flip throughs with. And so I can set it and I can have one camera. I can just do the cards. And then the other camera, I'll flip back and you can see me. So I don't want to hold them up in front. Oh, naturally, the weed eater guy's going to show up.
Yeah. You're all fancy over there.
It's been raining all week, and you can't go outside without walking in ankle-deep water, but the weed eater guy is out there weed eating. The mowers will come through later.
Yeah.
Because it stopped raining today, so it's like, oh, let's do something now while we can.
Exactly. Got to pay those bills.
Okay, thank you, Kristen. Were there any things you wanted to read on, Sherry?
That's what I was in the process of backing up to see if you had questions when everything went wonky. So, hello, everybody. If I call out your names, we'll be here all day. So, y'all know I see you. And Amanda says, hello, beautiful Sherry and handsome Gary and David. And as Tropical Empress in spirit. She's got Cher's hair. I'm so jealous. She's got that long, straight black hair that Cher has.
Oh.
Down to her knees, no less. That's how long her hair is. And has everyone fed their cats? Yes.
Oh God, Gary! When Gary came over, the kitten was eating her kibble on the chair. I turned down our microphone a little bit, trying to match the volume a little bit better. Melissa, don't ask Gary to turn up her microphone. All hell broke loose the last time we did that.
Let's see if I can turn it up this way.
Yeah.
Oh no!
How's that? Is that better?
Yeah, that's so much better.
Sounds good to us.
Okay.
No,
I'm just about maxed out on my volume. Yeah, my mic is actually my son's cast off when he upgraded his recording equipment, and because he does music, so he records. He records himself. He records other musicians that come to the house, and he'll record them and then mix and put it together for them. And and whatnot. And then he's a sound engineer on the weekend. He works at a local club where he runs the sound for the live bands.
That's nice.
So that's his passion. Y'all remember Miss Cleo? I do.
Miss Cleo.
Y'all don't remember Miss Cleo?
Infomercials. No, I never watched a lot
she'd
of
come on with a
infomercials.
1-800 number and gonna tell you your fortune now, boys and girls. You call me. She had like a Jamaican accent.
No, I think Dionne Warwick, I think, was the only one I seem to recall was doing the call a psychic or something like that. It may not have been Dionne Warwick, but I thought that's who it was.
I thought it was.
Well, Miss Cleo, I think, was the first one up on TV running, and then others showed up. So up. I'm scanning for questions, y'all. If you have a question, a political question you would like us to read on, please put it in caps so I can see it. Or it might slip right by me. And let's see. All right, I'm almost to the end here. Still looking for.
Yeah, if you have questions.
Thank you, Sharon. Sharon Sipes in the house, and she's putting everybody's links up. Thank you very much, Sharon.
Thank you.
She is moderator extraordinaire, the one and only. Michelle's here from Astrological Tarot. And no questions yet. Okay, folks, if y'all want us to read on something. I got something for y'all to read on.
What's that?
I read on it already the other night, so I know what my answer is, but I'm going to throw again just to see. Our governor just released information that everyone has read the Constitution wrong when it comes to the separation of church and state, and that we should have it sanctioned and everyone should be following the extremist Christian religion that they follow.
American Taliban here. Here we go.
Yeah. So, Sandy, we're only doing political questions. If you want to do a personal question, come back tonight at 11 o'clock Central. That's when I do the slumber party. So, and that's a blast. Y'all are going to have to come visit that one night.
Actually.
The night owl slumber party, because I can never get any sleep. So I'm going to mute.
Oh, I guess the weed whackers are going by your window.
Oh, did we get the question?
I don't think we got to the entire question. It's about reading the Constitution wrong.
Right. So will he be successful in removing the separation of church and state in Louisiana, whereupon then other states can follow suit?
Throw a little four-carder on that one, see what we can get out of this one. Logically, what tells me is like, hey, you won't even get this past the Supreme Court, but with this Supreme Court,
you never know.
Lord only knows. Will he be successful? 4 of Wands, 9 of Cups.
His name is Jeff Landry, in case that helps.
Queen of Cups, Queen of Wands, the Star card. Will he be successful? I'm trying to get rid of my internal biases with this one. He thinks he's going to be successful. He thinks he's going to be, hey, I got this great idea. It's going to make me a star and a darling amongst the evangelical groups and stuff like that. What do they call it? Like, there's a name that they have for Christ, like the Prince of Peace or the King of something or another. He's going to be like that. He thinks he's got the court system behind him. And this is just something, that he's just going to force through here. But again, it's that childless cat lady vibe that's going to be pushing against this narrative here. So my reading, and I'll let Gary throw on his in just a moment here. My thoughts on it are he thinks he's going to succeed because he thinks that the court system is lined up and this everything is lined up where he can do this. And even if he doesn't succeed, it's the messaging that he's sending out that no, I tried to do this. I'm the star. I'm the leader of this new
MAGA movement,
Christian evangelical movement in the United States. And we were talking a little bit about this before we went on air. And all I can say is, y'all want separation of church and state. Because if you don't, fine. Maybe we should put it to a vote. Because I'm going to vote for the Muslim religion to be the national religion of the United States. And you want to see the right freak out? Put in all that we trust on all our money, and watch them just lose their mud. And then
all the women have to wear a burqa.
Yeah, it's when they say, "Oh, it doesn't matter if you put in God we trust because it's just a generic term." Okay, so if we put in all that we trust, you're okay with that? Oh no, it's like no, you can't have it both ways.
Right.
Okay, so I'm going to throw on: will the Supreme Court uphold this? Because he may get this through, get it ratified,
Lord help
and
us.
it's gonna get appealed, and it's gonna go all the way to the Supreme Court. So will the Supreme Court uphold this? This misinterpretation,
This valiant attempt at American Taliban.
Yeah, despite this country being founded on religious freedom. Okay, the foundation of this four-carder is Three of Swords, heartbreak.
Yeah, I don't think they got to know.
Yeah,
No, and hell
well, it
no.
depends. It depends because if they do ratify it, they do support. That would be heartbreaking, wouldn't it? Page of Swords. That's the youthful messaging. Sometimes I call it the kid with the cardboard sword attacking anything that's around them. The Six of Cups. The Four of Swords, good deliberation. Oh, and hey, we got that Nine of Cups again. Okay, so it's Supreme Court going to actually push this thing through. There's a heartbreak tonight. They may look at this as they'll think about it. They'll deliberate on it. They will remember that I'm taking this as looking back at religion and how in the past we've kind of enjoyed separation of church and state, but at the same time we've also enjoyed very strong religious. It's beginning more and more religious. Like in the Pledge of Allegiance, under God wasn't even part of the Pledge of Allegiance to I think sometime in the 50s.
Yeah, so it was it's a McCarthy anti-communist thing. Basically, is a way to try and get Christianity as the state religion of the United States.
I think they're going to look at this. The Supreme Court's going to look at this as kind of reckless, immature messaging, and that at the end of the day,
darn cats, they're knocking things over.
Yeah, that's because I forgot I was in a high back chair. And
no! Lean back.
And I bumped it.
There you go.
Oh,
Okay, well, at least the bed's made, so we're good.
go on.
So what I'm thinking I've got here. Do you want to drop down, Dave?
Thank you, baby. You're good. That was my son.
So I think the Supreme Court's going to shoot it down. They're going to look at this messaging as kind of immature and reckless. It's great to look back and get all nostalgic about, how we've been in the past. We've been able to further and further push a official U.S. religion as long as it's Christianity. But when you think about it, this is not part of how America was founded. Our hopes and wishes and dreams in the United States was the Pilgrims came mostly to avoid religious persecution.
Yep.
And that's what this nation was founded on. So I think they're going to shoot it down. I think it may get approved. It will get appealed. The Supreme Court will shoot it down.
Some Supreme Court that's going to be a nice Poindexter. This doesn't stand up to case law.
Well, I basically got the same kind of cards I got the last time I read on this, and that was I got a reversed Ace of Swords.
Yeah.
So a lot of disappointment going on here. followed by the Nine of Swords reversed. So a lot of turmoil, a lot of worry. He's acting confident that he can do it, but I don't think he feels very confident in getting anything done. And I think you're right. I think the Supreme Court will shoot him down just because that's going to be a step too far for far too many people.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last card I drew was the Queen of Swords reversed. I drew all reversals just now. That doesn't happen very often. And here you're looking at somebody who is, again, very cold-hearted when it's a reversed card. Very, very overly emotional. He likes to play on everybody's emotions. And while, yes, we have a large evangelical base here in Louisiana, we also have an extremely large Catholic base. And where Catholics used to be more progressive in the way they behaved, that's not true anymore, at least not with most of them.
This has got all the feel of, I'm not really serious about doing this. I just want to do messaging. I want to try and get this through. I know I've got no chance of getting it through, but then I can say, hey, look, I'm the warrior that you were looking for to get this done. It's just pure theater and messaging with no chance of success.
And he has a very big ego.
Yeah. Well, if it goes through, then yeah, he's okay with that. But I think, yeah, that's the vibe I get on this one.
All right. Next up, we got Tea Garden Chicken. Does Harris feel ready for the debate? Oh, yes. And then some. That's just what I heard when I read it.
Oh, boy. Dave's Johnson. Oh, my God. Can you pull the four of a kind? Almost.
He's got a spread that's so good I can't possibly share it with anybody.
Don't look, people. Okay. Foundation of the reading is the Ace of Wands with the Ace of Pentacles underneath it, the Ace of Cups on one side, and the Two of Cups on the other. Is she ready? Oh, yeah, she's ready. She's got the beatdown stick ready to go. She's got the receipts to follow up with it. She's passionate. She's ready to go. Bring it on. Let me talk to the American people on it. Yes, and yes.
Yeah. And yes, in case I didn't say yes enough.
I think that wasn't very clear.
Yeah, I know. This is one of the murkier card spreads I've had in a while.
The only thing missing was the Ace
While
of
you
Swords.
put the cards back together, I just pulled one oracle on it. And it's called Round and Round. And basically what it's talking about is this is just a reminder that sometimes you may feel like we're slipping backwards, but actually she's kind of above it all, looking down, saying, oh, okay, you want to play that game. Let's play. He doesn't know what he's coming up against when it comes to her.
I think he's torn. You know, part of him realizes that this is not going to be easy like the Joe Biden one. But at the same time, his ego, he's got like that 4-year-old, 5-year-old mindset of boys are better than girls. And it's just like, you know, it's like, oh, he gets all worried, but then he goes back to, oh, yeah, but boys are better than girls, so I'll be fine. And then he gets nervous, then he goes, oh, but boys are better than girls, and then it wipes it all out. He's such a simpleton.
And she's not white. Of course he's better than her.
Well, she's only recently black.
Yeah, exactly. And I loved her response to it. When asked about that, she goes, next question, please. Because it fits into that we're not going backwards.
She laughed and then said, next question, please. That's what I loved about it.
Oh, there's a good question.
Will the debate push him over the edge? How many edges can he go over?
Further over the edge.
Oh, I see. Yeah, Kimberly added an addendum to that. So, yeah. Oh, I think so.
I often wonder who the debate. I mean, who's not decided yet? But maybe there's people that just need to. I'm assuming that what this is for folks that did not watch the DNC, which was amazing. The this will be an opportunity for them to actually see her talk and address policy, while Trump just shouts out the gish gallop of lies and fabrications. You gotta compare the two candidates.
Oh boy,
Gary's got his spread ready to go.
Yep.
Will it push him over the edge?
Will the debate push him over the edge? Well, Trump thinks he's got this. Yeah, he's going in. I have got this. The only thing that was missing was I always get the 4 of Pentacles when I throw on Trump's debating. He's got this. You know, I've participated in so many debates. I know how to battle and debate. I know how to defend.
The best debater
in the world.
I'm a master debater.
Yes, he is definitely a master debader.
Ask Melania. All the time. I should debate by myself because I'm a master debater.
Yes.
Really true.
So
Very big step. Sorry.
So the main clarifier is, you know what? I got this. I know how to defend myself. I've done so many battles with people better than her. You know, he's got that underneath it. You know, he's got the Page of Cups. You know, this is his gish gallop. Don, this is how he debates. It's all gish gallop. It's just making stuff up. He's the Lovers card is one of the clarifiers where, you know what, I've got great relationships with the people who run the soundboards, and we'll turn her microphone down like we did with Biden. But his whole this could also be his practicing with Gabbard, Tulsi Gabbard. From Hawaii, you know, I've been practicing. I know how to handle her. I can defend against it. But his whole foundation of argument, his gish galloping argument, is the tower. The foundation is just flawed. And this lightning strike, in my opinion, is the realization when his gish gallop is not going to work on Kamala Harris, and everything is going to crumble. So. I don't think this is going to end well for him.
And I would throw in there with Gary's spread, when you got that 9 of Wands, that could just sort of be 9 of Wands, right? Central underneath it. People have heard
another oracle board. It just says
people have heard his argument.
Let it go.
His argument over and over again, and it's just going to be like that. Kamala Harris sounds new and fresh. Trump's argument is the same bullshit we've heard all this time, and you know. Well, you get what you're going to get.
The same tired arguments.
Yes.
Yeah, same old. Okay, NB7 Easton would like to know, please read on Chief Justice Roberts whether he is compromised by bribery or blackmail. Or both.
Or does he just lack a spine?
That too.
Thomas and Alito just run roughshod over that guy. It's like, what are you afraid you're going to hurt their feelings?
Like Kimberly says, will they serve Russian dressing with his word salad at the debate? That's a good one.
Do you want to start on this one, Sherry?
Yep. Give me just a second here. 5 of Swords. We've got a lot of conflict going on there with him. I have a feeling that, I've pretty much felt for a while that he's pretty much compromised. I know he's done some iffy things. I know his wife has been involved with iffy things to help get justices on the court. And then I pulled the 4 of Cups. So even though he's got what he needs to survive, he's always got his eye out for more. It's never enough. And so he's easily bought, is what I'm seeing. What y'all got?
I don't know if this isn't answering the question asked. This is answering a different question. This is giving kind of his mindset right now. Got the Justice card as the foundation of the reading. 9 of Cups central underneath it with the 5 of Cups and the 6 of Swords. Wheel of Fortune underneath it.
right now, Justice Roberts is actually contemplating how long he's going to stay on the Supreme Court. He's been the Chief Justice. This court has been a massive disappointment, and he's thinking of leaving. He's done. I don't know when. I don't know why. Well, I get the idea why, but I think what's going to happen here is as things start progressing with the Supreme Court, looking at Thomas's actions, Alito's actions, Vergonia, and stuff like that, he's going to say, you know what? I'm done. I can't do this anymore. I'm out. But I want to retire and enjoy my life. It's almost and I forget which. I don't know if it was Susan Lin or one of the intuitives has said, Kamala Harris, when she gets in there, I think it was Susan Lin, that a lot of these Supreme Court justices are going to leave because they know she's not going to play. So you might as well get out while the getting's good, and hopefully they just leave you alone, and you get to have your motor coach and your vacations to a neo-Nazis island somewhere, and life will be good. Until he realizes that you're black and no longer a Supreme Court justice. And so what good are you? Gary is going to read on this too. Yes, come on down. And you should save the chubby unicorns. Yes. Yes, exactly. For all you folks out there, I'm going to start a GoFundMe eventually to save the chubby unicorns. Okay. So what have I got? Is he compromised by bribery or blackmail? There's the foundation is the Queen of Wands, strong messaging. The main clarifier is the Eight of Swords. There is a movement out there looking at him and the Supreme Court. It's a situation where he's not seeing a good way out. I think Dave's really ready to jump in on this. God. This is so obvious to me. Yes, he's going to jump in on this eventually, but it's a nightmare scenario. He doesn't see a way out. I think when they're looking at the election and they're seeing how Trump has really, and the Republicans have really started backpedaling and backsliding, and they were really hoping that the Republicans would come into power, and then they could retire and know that no one was going to come after them, and they were going to keep a very conservative Supreme Court. But right now, the Democrats are on a roll. They've got strong messaging. It's heartbreaking to them. They don't see a way out, and now they just have to sort of look at their legacy. What was their legacy going to be, and what can they salvage from their legacy? So I don't think it's not telling me if he's compromised by bribery or blackmail, but I think what it is telling me is that it's confirming what Dave's saying is they're looking for a way out. What I'm seeing with this one is when the investigations start, they're going to nail a bunch of stuff. Roberts is going to feel like he's got no options. They're going to look at the money. There's going to be 3 justices that they're going to look at, and it's going to be Thomas, Alito, and Gorsuch. And 3 cups down, Thomas, Alito, and Gorsuch. And this is just going to be ties into that. You know what?
I lost your sound.
Sorry. Do we have sound here? Okay.
Yeah.
I accidentally hit a button on my computer.
Gotcha. I thought it was me again going, oh, shit, now what's going on?
You have 3 Supreme Court justices who have been playing with the money when they shouldn't have been. And it's kind of like when you're the leader, you take responsibility for the actions of your subordinates. And these 3 people have been corrupt, and they're going to be leaving or told to leave. And then Roberts is like, you know what? I'm done. I mean, my reputation's trashed. I got to go too. That's kind of my vibe on his reading.
Well, I got the 6 of Cups reversed. So we're looking at somebody who's living in the past. He's living on what he thought his legacy was going to be.
Yeah.
I think he's starting to get a wake-up call that, guess what? Not exactly the way it's going to be. Then I pull the Queen of Pentacles reversed. I got all reversed cards again, guys. This is like
Turn your back the other
very
way.
uncanny for me.
They're shaking the Supreme Court justices upside down to watch all the
They
money
watch
go.
all the money fall out. That's it. And we're talking about somebody who's become very jealous, I think, of all of the money that some of the others are getting that I don't think he's been getting. I think he's been getting some, but I don't think on the level that some of the others are getting.
Are you
So
saying
there's
he's
a
upset?
level of jealousy.
Are you saying that he's upset that these guys are being paid to give their things and he's just agreeing with them and getting no money? I can see where he'd be a little bit upset.
Where's the
I don't think he's not getting any
any.
money. I just think he's not getting, now that more and more is coming out about what all the goodies are that the others are getting, I think jealousy is starting to rear its ugly head, that he's like, oh, wait a minute. I'm the Chief Justice and I don't get that. Nobody's offered me that.
He should be asking for a 10% tithe from all his justices on their things, and then he gets, got to wet his beak a little bit there.
Well, and the last thing I pulled was the Page of Cups reversed. So we're talking about somebody very insecure, very immature, and ready to have a tantrum because now his good name has been besmirched
Oh yeah.
by his own actions. And I think that's going to be the hard part for a lot of them, is understanding the fact that they're getting their comeuppance, so to speak. They're used to having stuff just fall their way. Okay, next up, Water Lily. Will more MAGA come out against Trump for saying he did lose the 2020 election by a whisker? Nick Fuentes, the picture of white supremacy, has come out against Trump because of it. Oh my.
I've read that story. I haven't watched it yet to see what happened.
I saw it, but I haven't read on it. I haven't watched it. Yeah.
Yeah. I imagine it was on some sort of right-wing podcast. But yeah, I saw the article on it, and it's like Nick Fuentes finally joined the chat. It's like, you mean you lied about this, and all these people went to jail over it? It's like, hallelujah, Nick, welcome to the party.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Nick Fuentes probably has a number of friends that are in prison right now, probably some for 20 years. Because I imagine that he's got pals in the Proud Boys and the Oath Keepers who are currently in prison. And what? You didn't know that he was lying through your teeth? Okay, who's the Six of Cups now, pal? Yeah, it's.
Thank you.
Yeah, so let's throw on that. I'm gonna let you throw on it. Okay, I'll throw on it. MAGA. Dave really doesn't like throwing on MAGA.
Well, I pulled a card.
Oh, a bunch of naive idiots, but okay.
My card just says building blocks. So he's been steadily, they've been steadily building their blocks of how they want this to go. And now Trump just knocked down a whole level of blocks by saying, oh, well, yeah, I didn't really win.
I might have fibbed a bit.
Oh my God, I'm getting great cards on this.
It's so good. We
cannot show you this. Okay, so
just send $5 to Twin Tarot, and we'll send you a picture of what this.
If you want to see these cards, make sure you there's a GoFundMe for Sherry's son to help him pay for some medical costs that he ran into. So please consider contributing to that. Dave and I will also be contributing to that.
And thank you. I would appreciate it. There's a link in the description box, and there's the QR code up in the top right corner. So
wonderful. Okay, so will more MAGA come out against Trump? You know what? They're looking at it now. This is him coming out and saying he lost by a whisker.
What a revelation.
I know. 7 million votes is a whisker, apparently. But okay, I think, like Nick Fuentes, MAGA's now looking at this saying, all this grifting that occurred because the election was stolen from him, all this money and things of value we gave you, people gave up their freedom for you. You lied. We should have been walking away from this election, and you lied and kept us in it. You said, we've been offering you things of value. And I think now they're starting to look at this in a new light. This is like a new beginning for them, seeing that they are being used, and they're not happy about it. It's like if you've ever and underlying it, the Wheel of Fortune.
More to come.
And more to come.
As Milani says, stay tuned.
Stay tuned. The future is wide open. I always quote the Tom Petty song. The future is wide open on this one. It could go either way, but it's like if you feel like you're giving something because you want to give, it's great. It's a wonderful feeling. If you've been giving something and you've realized that you've been used and not appreciated, nothing shuts me down faster than where I feel like I'm being taken advantage of.
Yeah.
And I think to your question, will more MAGA, Water Lily, if more MAGA is going to come out against Trump for saying he did lose it? Hell yes.
And this is going to dovetail. But that Wheel of Fortune underneath there, this is the beginning. The boulders going down the hill now, down the snowy hill.
Yeah, the snowballs starting to grow.
And what you've got going on next is if it can happen before the election, that would be amazing. But Judge Jack Smith is going to be on the 3rd or 4th week of September, going to be submitting all the evidence from the grand jury, plus stuff we've never heard before on January 6th. They might actually listen to what's being produced by this grand jury, because now they're going to find he lied about winning the election. He said he lost the election. And now you're going to start hearing this Jan 6 stuff about what really happened. They're going to be more receptive.
Yeah, and it could have been Trump's attempt to get out in front of that grand jury testimony.
Oh, God, that's probably true.
Because he knows that everyone's going to come out saying, we told him he lost. We had this briefing on this day that he lost. And he would deny it. And so I think since most of MAGA and certainly Fox News was not tuning into the Jan 6 trial or the testimony in front of Congress, I know I watched every single minute of it. It was captivating. Mm-hmm. But they will probably start watching this, and this is going to start landing, and they're going to realize that we've been taken advantage of, and we're not happy about it.
And then all of a sudden, your Nick Fuentes and guys like that, who are the mouthpieces that have kept the insurrection going, are now going to be pushing against the insurrection.
Yeah.
Is he going to lose listeners? Sure, because he's not giving them the drug that they need and they want and stuff like that. But for others that actually listen to Nick Fuentes because they think he really knows what he's talking about, they're going to have their minds changed.
Yeah, he's legit. Yeah. Nick Fuentes he's a legit. He's got cred, street cred, MAGA cred.
Yeah, from those people. Again, some people will say, oh, he's duped and he's an idiot. I'm not listening to him anymore. But other folks are going to say, wow, I believe him.
Nick Fuentes is a rhino.
Yeah, exactly, or something. A minor.
Well, and Spirit told me draw another card, and so I did. Self-imposed restrictions and imprisonment. He brought this on himself.
Yeah. I think Gary's right. Trump's trying to get ahead of something. Probably what's going to be revealed in these grand juries is going to be the amount of times that the black cat jumped up on the table and decided to flop down and join us here. Speaking of swamp creatures, hello, Nico.
Nico needs to draw some cards.
Yeah.
We have 5 little kittens living on our patio right now that a stray had her litter.
Actually, they're all in my room right now.
Oh, they're all okay.
Because the one people were.
Oh, okay. They were freaking out. They just hit 8 weeks and they're now all over the place. We have one that's solid black, 2 tuxedos, 1 gray tabby, and 1 black and gray calico mix. So evidently Mama was playing around. She got a lot of different colored babies there.
Well, yeah, what I found out was that cats can get impregnated by multiple males. And that's why their litters can be so diverse.
And we have a black male. We have a big orange tomcat. And we have a big gray tabby that roam around out here all the time. And she's a little beige and white calico that kind of ran with the crowd. Because my cat is not fixed yet. And so I open the bedroom window for her and she'll sit in the window and they'll lay outside the window and they talk to each other.
Hey, baby.
Conversations. Yeah, And
Come on, Dave.
Calico got caught, and so she had her babies on our patio, next to our patio. So we've had them living on the patio. They leave next week for the shelters. So we're waiting for them to bring us a trap to try to trap Mama.
Is
And,
it going to be emotionally hard for you to let them go? Because I know
it
for
is.
me,
We've all gotten attached.
yeah.
I'm already over pet limit as it is where I live. We're only allowed so many per apartment.
Only so many
And,
gators before you have to start giving
only
them up.
so many gators before they come down on you.
Cool kids.
And, but we've had the kids that live above us. The couple that lives above us has teenagers. They're down here all the time playing with the kittens and checking on them. And then a girl across the parking lot works for a no-kill shelter.
Okay.
She's been bringing us stuff and telling us what to do and how to take care of them. And because we had them like a day after they were born, we were dealing with these kittens. It's like, oh my God, what do we do? And so now they're everywhere. You sit outside and they run up and they try to crawl up your leg, and they're so cute. It's ridiculous.
Yes, indeed.
It's going to break our hearts to send them to the shelter, but it'll be best because they'll get fostered out and rehomed, and
kittens.
that'll be a good thing.
Pretty good success rate at those shelters.
Yeah, and this is a no-kill shelter, so I wouldn't bring them anywhere else. And okay, so Sandy had a question. Will Kamala Harris reverse the bankruptcy law that Trump changed, which made it harder for people to file for bankruptcy? Because I tell you, I mean, I wasn't even aware that he had changed it. So
This is,
they
I think,
kept
is
that
gonna,
under wraps.
to me, this is going to tie into the whole. Are you familiar with the Chase Bank glitch that happened?
Yeah.
For the audience, there was a rumor going around just before Labor Day weekend that Chase Bank had a glitch and you could get free money from Chase Bank. And really what it was just check fraud. People would they had $5,000 in a checking account, they'd write themselves a check for $50,000, go in, and then they could withdraw the $50,000 out. They weren't limited by, sometimes they give you like a partial release, or they lock up the funds until the check clears. But people were doing that, then closing their account. So basically committing check fraud. And it took Chase a couple of days to prevent that from happening. But it impacted a lot of very poor, uneducated people. It's like in the thousands, if not tens of thousands of people that did this, all committed check fraud. And the consequences of this is severe. It's a federal crime if you go above $2,500. And real quick, I'll try to keep it quick. You won't be able to open checking accounts, savings accounts, investment accounts. Your credit checks to like rent a place are going to fail. You won't be able to get utilities. There's no way for you to get a car loan. It just you've lost all your ability to attain credit in everything that happens. I think Kamala Harris, not only with the bankruptcy laws, Kamala Harris is going to have to address this, because what's basically happened is you've taken a large group of what appears to be poor people, at least on TikTok, predominantly Black, and they've lost their ability to be contributing members to society. You've almost created a slave class because they can only do things cash-wise. Yeah. And it could be greed on their part, but it's also almost like fishing, and you're throwing in a lure and you have a bunch of hungry fish coming at it, and now they've lost all ability to work hard and get ahead in this world. So
that's why payday loans are so devastating, because you have people who can't borrow money from the bank, don't have a credit card, and say they, a tire blows out, or the motor blows in their car, or their kid falls and breaks an arm and they don't have insurance. Suddenly they need money, and they need money right now to fix whatever the issue is. Where are they going to go? The only place they can go is to a payday loan that charges, 240% interest, compounded weekly or some crap. There's ridiculous.
No way for them to get out from underneath this. Gary's going to throw in this. Yeah, I think I actually just threw on David's Chase Bank thing. I think they're linked. It's a financial thing. It's like a financial way to keep people repressed.
Exactly.
You got voter suppression, and now this is it's like a financial suppression. Yeah. So the foundation is the Six of Swords, trying to get out of troubled waters and move to calmer waters.
I like the fact that you got a coins card here too when you're talking about bankruptcy.
And you've got your baggage. You got your family to think of. You've got other financial baggage. It could be student loans, other debts that you've incurred just trying to make ends meet. The main clarifier is the Magician. In David's case, it's, hey, we have a way for you to get instant money from the bank. You can stick it to the man, the merchant that has it all, right? And we have a way for you to do it. And you can look at all this money, and you can now get more money. And then they find themselves in a nightmare situation that they've caused themselves because they believed that there was free money out there. Reading this as the bank, Kamala Harris overturning the bankruptcy laws that Trump made tighter, she's probably looking at how can we help people that are in a financial situation that need to get out of it. What can I go in there and make things better to end their nightmare and give them a chance to be prosperous again, so that they can enjoy the kind of the American dream, as it were. So will Kamala Harris reverse the bankruptcy law? I think she's going to make some changes. She's looking at what she can address in this to end this nightmare for these people that are in financial distress and help get them on the mend so they can live the American dream.
I wouldn't be surprised if this will extend to student loan forgiveness, since you can't bankruptcy your way out of it.
I can't speak highly enough for the student loan forgiveness. I went back to college 15 years after high school. I wound up borrowing roughly 25 grand to go back to school and get a degree. I owed 75. That's how bad it is. And I was drowning. Literally, I couldn't. I was so tied up. I couldn't breathe from it. And when Biden started putting out the new stuff for the forgiveness of the loans, I went on the Department of Education site and I filled out every application for any avenue of that I could. I figured something somewhere is going to have to take, maybe I'll get 10 grand or something knocked off, whatever. Probably one of the most emotional days of my life was when I got a letter from the Department of Education. It said, "Congratulations, Mrs. Hinkle. Your entire school loan has been forgiven." I literally cried for days. I was so overwhelmed with emotions. So, and it's bankruptcy can be the same thing. I mean, people don't go bankrupt on a whim. They do it because their back's against the wall and they have no other choice. Right. 9 out of 10 times, I pulled 3 major arcana on this, which just tells me how important this is for everybody. But the first thing I pulled was the Emperor. That's Kamala right there, because she's very much law and order. Very much, we're gonna do what's right for the people. There's still going to be consequences to pay for people that did something wrong, but she's going to do her best to make it easier on everyday working class people. And then I pulled Temperance, and that's her working it out to help regular everyday folks who get up, work 9 to 5, 5 to 9, whatever the case may be, to help them get along. And then I followed up with the World Reversed. So it's a lot of people that are seeking closure for this. They're looking at how is this going to affect me, and can I get closure on this? And I think it's going to help a lot of folks. W was the one that screwed up the bankruptcy laws back when he was president, when he no longer would allow people to put their school loans on their bankruptcy, because there were far too many people that were filing bankruptcy for school loans because of the ridiculous amounts they were charging in interest. And he stopped that, and that really hurt a lot of people. I knew quite a few people that, they wound up going bankrupt, but they couldn't claim their student loans. They still had that hanging over their heads.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it can be rough when you're going through stuff like that. And y'all, David, you brought up about the Chase Bank glitch.
Yeah.
Was that it? A few years back, 5-6 years ago, here in Louisiana, I don't know if it happened in any other states, but it did happen here. There was a glitch in the SNAP program for food stamps. And normally it used to be you would get the little books of food stamps. Now it's just a debit card, and it's loaded with however much you're allotted for the month. And people were going to the grocery store and discovering that they had thousands of dollars on their SNAP card that shouldn't have been there. And they went to town buying out every grocery store in town.
Yep.
Just loading up on everything they could. And when they finally fixed the glitch, they went like the next 6, 7, 8 months. If they weren't kicked off the program, they weren't getting any benefits at all for that amount of time because they had to pay all that back.
Yep.
Even though it was the state government's fault. So be careful what you go run and grab when there's an opening.
And that's kind of the thing, it's that human nature of if who remembers the movie Love at First Bite. There's a blackout in New York City or a rolling brownout in New York City, and people just lose their mind and just go looting and taking stuff that's not nailed down. It's like this human nature that if there's like, I have an opportunity and I don't think I'm going to get caught, so I'm just going to, steal with both hands type of thing, and thinking that there's no consequences.
Yeah.
It's amazing that it's like you didn't play the tape all the way through. You didn't think that they would figure this out, then want that money back.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what happened with this Chase thing.
Exactly.
If they didn't even get to the part where it's like, well, the bank's obviously going to want their money back and they're going to charge you interest and fees. But the total ignorance of the consequences from losing your credit, your ability to get credit is astounding. I can picture myself sitting at work and getting a phone call from my son saying, I accidentally did this. I trusted a friend who told me on that one. And what do I do now? And just looking at this kid thinking this 25-year-old has just flushed his entire future down the toilet because of one bad choice made.
Yeah. Yeah. Or one bit of information that you're given that's so wrong. All the people with the J6 thing, you could equate it to that, who were told that, oh no, you're not doing anything that's breaking the law. Everything you're doing this is revolution, da 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 da. And now these people are sitting in prison, or they've lost their jobs, lost their homes. Some of them lost their families because of their involvement in that. And that's a really hard lesson to have to learn, especially when you get sucked into it. So well, guys, we are 3 minutes over the hour. Thank you for hanging a little bit over. Thank y'all for coming and staying with us today. I'm sorry we didn't get to everybody's question, but we did do our best to try. And thank y'all for coming and spending the afternoon with me. You're welcome to come back anytime. And hopefully we'll see you again soon. So what do y'all have up, Scared? I know Gary's going off for anniversary time. Yeah. What about show-wise, other than your regular Taco Tuesday and stuff?
Well, Dave and I are going to record our videos on the weekends and we release them during the week, which works pretty good until Judge Rashawn
does some BS.
Jumps the gun on us. We had a great video that we couldn't release.
It was amazing.
It was the best video ever. So I'm going to stick around here. I'm up in Dave's place. We'll record 2 or 3 videos and then we'll record a couple tomorrow. So we'll be in the same room for the next few videos.
We're in the same shirts.
Yes. Yes, we never.
Oh, hey,
change our-
look, I just got my new Kamala shirt. It says, "Mind your own damn business."
That's right.
with Cat and Harris Walls, you know. So
Nice.
one of my members made that for me. So teacher Barbara, and she made that for me.
On
Yeah,
my
it was really
on my Tarot by the Bay channel, on my community page, I've got a link to a Zazzle site for an account called Ozzy's Mom, a woman named Doris, and she's a graphic artist, and she designed an amazing Harris Walls t-shirt. There's, again, if you go to Tarot by the Bay, go to the community page, it's one of the top posts on there with the link to her Zazzle for a Harris Walls t-shirt.
cool.
Great design on it. Got one on
Y'all-
order, and hopefully it'll be delivered soon enough.
Y'all be sure and check that out. All of the links for all 3 channels, David's 2, and then the channel for the 2 of them together. Everything is in the description box below. If you've not gone to their channel yet and subscribed, please go to their channel and subscribe and like and share. After today, if you'll come back in and make sure you like and subscribe to my channel, and leave a comment after the show is over. That helps boost the algorithm. It helps push the channel out so people can find us. And I will see everybody later tonight. Have a great Saturday, and we will see you soon.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.